Hello again. Today we're going to do something on the mobile side of the spectrum. And what I thought I wanted to show you was the new Perplexity feature that allows you to set it up as the assistant on your Android phone. I don't know if it works on iPhones or not. I'm not an iPhone guy, but on Android it definitely does. And I just want to show you how it works and what you can do with it. So the first thing we do is we take the phone and then let me show you. I want to make sure you see the screen, and you see the screen, and then we do this. You can see this is ridiculous to show people things like this with the look at the screen and it's not sharp enough and this and that. So before we do that today, let's do something a little different. One of the things you can do with your Android devices, with your mobile phones, is you can hook them up to your computer using a regular USB-C cable. USB-C, usual standard USB-C. So you hook it up on the computer end, and then you can hook it up to your phone right here, plug it in, makes a little tripping sound, and it says allow USB debugging. I'm going to say yes. Allow USB debugging. I'm going to show you one more time this way so you can see it, and then I just click on allow. Now at this point, what you can do is you can run a program called Vysor. I mean, there's different ways to do it, but this is one of the ways that you can do it, and that's the one I recommend. So there's a program called Vysor, spelled V-Y-S-O-R. And you can download it for free. They have a paid plan too, but you can also use the free plan. It's pretty potent. If you keep using it, I'd recommend subscribing to their paid plan. But it's super affordable. I'll just start the app here, and it comes up with this display. So yeah, it works on iOS devices as well, so you can use your iPhone. And it knows that my Pixel 7 is hooked up here. That's why it shows it like that. I'm just going to click on play, or view device in this case, and there is my phone. And so I can now close this screen, and you can see that we're looking at the phone that I can just grab, and I can move or not. Yeah, I can grab it and I can move it like that around the screen. I can put it in its own window, you can see, or I can share it with whatever is in the background there. And I can use it just like I use my phone. I mean, this is, you're looking at my phone. These are my kids. So you're looking at the real deal. And so what I can do is I can use my fingers to slide, and I can use the app to, I can start up whatever app I want by tapping on it. So that part works just like, use the phone, use the phone. The cool thing about it is, in addition to being able to see it, and you can see it in pretty large view here, you can also just use your mouse and keyboard. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to use the phone itself. So right here, if I click on my Tesla app, for example, it'll come up and show me what's going on with the car. And I can, look at the location by clicking on the location. It'll pull that up. That's where my car is. I can go back and, there's the car. It says it's parked, so on. So bottom line is you can do everything that you do. I can use the scroll bar to scroll up and down with my mouse. I can use the, no hands. It's just one hand on the mouse, one hand here. So then you can use your hand too. And so you can click on things, you can type things, like if I want to look at Google, do a search for, let's do a search for, I don't know, Perplexity as assistant, for example. Then I'm typing on my keyboard, but I see the results on the screen. What you can also do is you can click here to go to the home screen, and let's say you go into some app, doesn't matter what it is. Let's say we go to ChatGPT, for example. And then over here, if you want to go back, you can just click on the back button. Yeah, I forgot about that. You can do that too. So you can just click here. You can look at recent tasks on the phone. So all of the functionality of the phone basically is right there. And you can navigate directly with the mouse and keyboard and that. And so it's convenient. I mean, obviously recording things like I'm recording now could be done directly on the phone itself. If I have some process I want to show people, I don't have to hook it up to a computer and then record what I'm doing. I could just basically use the built-in Android screen recorder to record everything that way and then transfer to a computer. I'm going to be showing you something that has to do with basically both the phone and the computer. Then this is probably a better way to do it. So And also, if I want to use the voice mode, for example, on the phone, let's say you go to ChatGPT. And what's the weather like in Kirkland today?
Good morning, Oleg. In Kirkland today, expect sunny skies with a high around 38 degrees Fahrenheit and a low near 21 degrees. There's also a cold weather advisory in effect until 10 a.m. tomorrow. Stay warm.
What about Redmond? Is it warmer in Redmond?
In Redmond today, it's sunny with a high of about 39 degrees Fahrenheit and a low near 20 degrees. There's also a cold weather advisory until 10 a.m. tomorrow. Stay warm.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome, Oleg. Stay warm out there.
See, you just wants to make sure I'm warm. So anyway, so that's how that part works. So you can, like I said, use any functionality. But the thing I wanted to talk to you today about and to show you how it works is ability to use the power button on the phone to actually launch an assistant, which is something you could do before, but you can now use Perplexity as the assistant. So basically, if I push the power button, you can't see it, but I'm pushing the power button. Okay, Perplexity, tell me this. Can you give me a listing of best B&Bs?
Here are a couple of highly rated bed and breakfasts near your location in Washington. 1. A Cascade View. Bed and breakfast in Bellevue, Washington offers cozy rooms
Okay.
with views of the Cascade Mountains, organic breakfasts, and a convenient.
Okay, so basically you can interrupt it. So it's a little different than just talking to ChatGPT, for example. But it is a full-fledged Perplexity thing. You can ask it anything. And so in my case, I had a situation where I wanted to get an email with listing of these best B&Bs in whatever state. So let's try it right now. The way it works is when you push the button, it comes up and gives you the information on the screen, but also it comes up with a little microphone. So when you push microphone, then it's listening to what you're saying. So it's not where you can just talk to it using like ChatGPT or using other apps that do the same thing in terms of being able to talk to it directly, interrupt it, and so on. The advanced voice mode, as they call it. In this case, you actually have to push the microphone to indicate that you're going to be talking. But it's not that big of a deal and stuff. But it's still pretty potent and gives you all the information you need to know. So, for example, I'm going to click on it and say, can you please take this list and add to it the website URL for each one and email it to me?
Would you like me to email you the listing of the 2 bed and breakfasts, including their website URLs?
Yes, please.
Got it. Could you confirm the email address you'd like me to send this to?
Yes, it's oleg.moskalinsky@gmail.com.
Choose your preferred email app.
So here, see, it's asking us to see which app. I'm going to say use Gmail always. And there we are. There's basically the email with these the B&Bs I asked it about, and all I have to do is click on send, or I can change it obviously, which is pretty convenient. So basically, it gives you a draft email message, and then it goes. And if we go back to, let's go back to the home screen and go to Gmail, and then we should see. No, maybe we won't see because it didn't send it. Let's see. Jump to Gmail here. Yeah, see, it screwed up the email. Okay, so we're gonna go to a different way to do it, I guess, or another try. We'll give it another try. Let's try the state of I don't know, Oregon. So again, I push the hold the home button on the phone, which is not the home button, but the power button on the side of the phone right there. Push it, hold it. Could you please give me top 10 B&Bs in Oregon? Put them in the list with their names and email addresses and email it to me.
I found some top B&Bs in Oregon, but not all of them have email addresses listed. Would you like me to proceed with the available information or refine the search?
Why don't you change it to show the web URL instead of email address? So name and then the web address, please.
I could not find user in your contacts. What is their email?
Can you use my email?
I could not find user in your contacts. What is their email?
It's oleg.moskalensky@gmail.com.
Choose your preferred email app.
So as you can see, it did the email. It is putting the two correctly now, and I'm sure we'll get it after I click on send. The problem with this approach is the way they do it is it's asking for which email to use every time. So obviously that's a little bit of a bug thing. Second thing, it says it couldn't find the user. I don't know what user it's looking for. Obviously I have my own record and contacts and stuff. So it's not perfect, but you can see it did a little bit more than just this. I said to compile the list, put it with the the names of the places and the web URLs, and then send me an email, and this is what it sent. And so if we open it up to look at it right here, we can see, here's a list of top rated bed and breakfast in Oregon along with their website URLs. And as you can see, I got the links, make sure the links work. Yeah, see, the links work. And then we got I guess you couldn't find 10, so I got 5. Some highly recommended options. Let me know if you need further assistance. Okay. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is that you can use it from a standpoint of using it it's almost like agentic to some degree, like almost an agent running multiple tasks. Because you think about it, I didn't ask it to just email me the list that I already had. I asked it to come up with the list. I asked it to have the names and the URLs in the list, and then email it to my address. So all of these, there's basically 3 different parts to this particular task, and it did them all with one request, if you will. So that's pretty slick. Now, before I asked it to do, can you do all 50 states, 10 per state, it says it's too big of a list, it can't do it. So it's not like you can do anything and everything, but it is pretty incredible that you can basically treat it like any LLM, just like you would talk to ChatGPT or just Perplexity or anything else. And anything you can ask Perplexity, you can ask this. And you can have this ongoing conversation, and and all of that is basically in your phone with just a push and hold on your power button. So very powerful, very useful, and you can. Let me show you now how you set this up. So to set this up, what you need to do is you need to go to Perplexity app. I'm actually going to do it on my phone. Well, I can do it. We'll just use the mouse. If we go to Perplexity on my phone here, and then I think you click on your little logo, your little avatar at the top left corner, then you have a bunch of options here, and one of the options is called, right here under Assistant, it says Enable Assistant. So what you want to do is you want to click on this Enable Assistant. That'll take you to the settings for your Android, and it says, which do you want to use as default digital assistant app. So you click on this option, and then you get a list of all these different things you can do. And you can use none, you can use .go to, you can use Firefox, there's all these different options. And one of the options is Perplexity. And so you just select Perplexity as the option for the default digital assistant app. And that's what's going to make it work when you push and hold the power button. And there's some additional options you can set in terms of what Assistant can do, like accessing text from the screen you're on, You can, allow assistant to access the image on the screen using a screenshot. So there's a couple of options you can use. I turn them all on so the thing is as capable as it can be. And also you have an option when you click on the little gear here that allows you to set up the language. Yeah, see it says which language, system language is default, but you can select, English, Czech, French, German, Hindi. I mean, there's a bunch of different languages. Not all, they don't have Russian, which was very disappointing for me. No, I'm kidding. But, basically it has, if you want different language that they support, it's right there. And so that's all you have to do is just enable it and then, make sure that it's set up here properly and shows it. And then you can start using it as your main assistant. You can always switch it to something else using the same approach I just showed you. If you want to go back to Google, you can do that. Of course, you can still use the Perplexity app as is from, as an app you download and install. But I think this is a little better in many ways because you can quickly get what you need, what you want by just pushing the button. It makes it more convenient. So that's one thing I wanted to mention. Another thing I wanted to mention is that when you look at the home screen and you push on any particular icon and you hold it down, what it'll do, it'll give you additional things you can install, not just in terms of widgets, not just the app itself. For example, if I wanted to ask by voice Perplexity, I could select this option, it would stick it on my desktop, and then I could just use it one time. This is exactly what I did with ChatGPT here. If you look at this option here, it's not something that normally comes with Android as is. But if you go to ChatGPT and click and hold the button, you can see one of the things is the voice, which is what I installed. They also have another one called camera. You can install that. You can install multiple. It's like, each of these are widgets. So because I installed voice, now all I have to do is when I come up and turn on the phone, I can just click from any screen, by the way, because as you can see, this bar is available on all screens. So if I click on this thing, it goes right to ChatGPT voice. And I can ask it, for example, if I click on the camera, then it's able to see what it's able to actually see what it's looking at. And I can ask it, what are we looking at here?
Exactly. You can show the camera something, and I can help describe what it's seeing or answer questions about it. It's quite handy.
Okay. What am I looking at here?
It looks like you're looking at an envelope from the State of Washington Department of Licensing.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so you can see I actually showed the envelope on the side, crooked, all of that kind of stuff, and it still was able to not only see it, but also decipher what it says and stuff, and obviously if I wanted to talk to it about it, I could further. So very capable, very easy and convenient to use like this. And of course, then anything that you're discussing, then you can see it comes back and puts it right there on the screen, so you can copy it, you can send it somewhere. I mean, it's super convenient, super handy. As I always say these days, use AI. It's just, it's amazing. It's almost like, people sometimes ask me, how do I, fill in the blank? And the answer basically always, I realize I'm kind of, to a degree, putting myself out of a job, but basically it's like ask AI. Like yesterday, I had somebody ask me, how do you do this? Which was a computer question. And to be honest, that particular question, I wasn't totally sure how. So I just went to AI, asked it, and showed me how. And obviously, people can do the same thing. But because I'm an IT guy, people usually come to me with questions about computers and IT. Instead of going to AI, which they can easily do as easily as I can, they come to me and they ask me, which is okay. Like I said, I don't want to be sitting here being bored. So this is what I want to talk to you about today, about the use of mobile and hooking up your phone to your computer so you can use it for anything you want to do on the computer, even something as little as being able to see your computer in a bigger view, which for some of us older people, it might be a little bit of a problem to be able to read small text, so this makes it much bigger, obviously. Plus, if you're sitting and working on the computer, you don't have to worry about picking up the phone every 2 seconds when the thing chimes. I mean, there's all kinds of benefits to use this approach. And like I said, you can easily grab it here and move it, for example, to the side here. I think we can do like maybe this one, something like that. And then over here, let's say we have the inbox. So now we have, the screen broken down like this, where we have email here and we have the phone here, so it doesn't basically bump into each other. And then at the same time, potentially, see, I have the camera going, so I could have a video conversation with somebody, and I can, look at my news. I could deal with email. My phone just went blank, but that's because it just timed out. I can click on the home; it will come right back up again. So the bottom line being that you can definitely use it like this. If you ever need to use the voice mode on your phone, of course you can always bring up voice mode now on the desktop as well. But you can use it for that purpose as well. And if a phone call comes in, obviously you can answer it and you can talk to it using your computer microphone and things like that as well. So it's very handy to be able to do this kind of stuff with the phone being visible on the computer. If you have any questions about hooking it up or anything like that, let me know. You do need to have the developer mode turned on your phone first, and you can again use AI to find out how to do it. It's a little bit of a process. You have to tap one of the options 7 times. I mean, there's kind of weird way how they got it set up, but I mean, it's not difficult at all. And then what you want to do is whenever you plug in a cable, then it'll ask you if you want to allow USB debugging, which we're not doing, but you're supposed to say yes, allow, and it'll do its thing, and then you can jump into Vysor. Like I say, you can download Vysor. I'm going to have the link down below for the Vysor. You can download that. The only question about the Vysor thing is that when you download it, if you go to, let's go there for a second first, Vysor.com, I believe. No, it's not Vysor.com. What is the website? Well, it's Perplexity. See, Perplexity knows everything. So we go here. And so this is what the website looks like. Very simplistic, very simple to do. And so what you want to do is you want to download the app, but at the same time, when you click on download, you also want to indicate, obviously, which platform you're doing it for. And they will let you know and give you links to download the drivers. It's super important to download the drivers first and install the drivers. Otherwise, it may not work. So once you download the drivers and once you download the app itself, then you just crank up the app and it'll do everything else. So it's the first time, it's a little bit of a setup. Like I said, if you have any questions or you have some problems, just contact me and I'll walk you through it. It's not difficult. It just, usually till sometimes first time it's a little, it could be a little challenging, but it's not that big of a deal. It does work, as you can see. And yeah, so that's how you use that. And do you want to set up Perplexity as your assistant on your phone? Totally up to you. I thought it's very useful because I use Perplexity all the time. So for me, it was a no-brainer to switch it to Perplexity. I'm a fan. And yeah, so that's our little mobile discussion today. And until next time, I'm Oleg. Oops, one small thing I forgot to mention. When you actually have it in this mode where you get it hooked up to your computer, even if you don't do anything, it does, one of the additional side benefits is actually is charging your phone at the same time from your computer. So if you hook it up, even if you don't do much with the phone, you can also use it just for nothing more than using it to charge the phone. So, I mean, it's not a huge thing to do, but, something to remember that that's a side benefit. Okay, and then also one more thing I was going to mention is also notice it has the minimize button. So even if you don't do the screen thing with the phone, you can always just minimize it and do whatever you're going to do. And then when you get back to that you want to go bring it back up, you can just bring it back up. It's right there again. Okay, now I am done. Thank you. Bye.